Diddy could be facing life in prison over his RICO charge alone. This is the most important part that a lot of people have to understand when it comes to Diddy and all of his charges. The RICO charge, the racketeering conspiracy charge, is one of the charges that Diddy really has to be concerned about. And that is because the feds only have to prove two of the allegations that fall under the racketeering conspiracy charge, also known as RICO. All of the crimes that are falling under this racketeering conspiracy charge is coercion, trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. And if the jury decide that the government was able to prove at least two of these allegations that fall under
At
this
least two.
racketeering conspiracy charge, Diddy is guilty of the RICO charge. I talked about it the other day that a lot of people tend to forget how big the racketeering conspiracy charge is, and a lot of people are just focused on the trafficking charges. Now we have to remember this RICO charge is only one of the charges that Diddy is being charged with. He is being charged with 5 different charges in total. As you guys know, I am not a lawyer. I do not have a law degree or anything like this, but I have been learning as I go, and I research everything when it comes to Diddy's case. So I was talking about how important this racketeering charge was going to come into play during Diddy's trial. And today I got a shout out from my mutual and amazing lawyer and the owner of the Kent Law Firm.
All right, so we're going to talk about the Kent Law Firm. Shout out to Kent Law Firm on TikTok. And of course, this is Khadijah Lynn on YouTube and TikTok. And I need everybody coming in to hit the like button and drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. And this is new information that is really the nail in Diddy's coffin. For anybody who thought that Diddy was not going to do any time, we're just going to keep going. We're just going to keep going. I don't even need to talk too much. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, and drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. I want to know where you are, where you're from. Drop your city in the chat.
Who broke it down how Diddy is possibly facing life in prison if he is found guilty of just this racketeering conspiracy charge. And I want all of you guys to hear this because I feel like it's very important. And if you guys do not follow the Kent Law Firm, please go and follow him. He is amazing. And the way he breaks down law makes it so fun to learn and understand.
Shout out to Khadijah Lynn. Follow her on social media. She had a post last night that was talking, which is actually
This is Kent Law Firm.
really important, that people are tending to forget. Everybody's forgetting about Dre. Everybody's forgetting about the RICO charge that Diddy is looking at. This trial is coming up fast and furious, and we keep talking about the sexual assaults and things of that nature, and the fact that the government may have trouble because they may not be able to prove coercion.
All right, y'all. We got to get the lights up. We got to get the lights up. Layla is snitching on y'all. So if y'all want to keep going, we got to get the lights up. So everybody take a second right now to hit the like button. We need about 50 likes at least. We just starting off. So anybody who has not hit the like button, take a second right now to hit the like button so we can keep going. Hit the like button. Hitting the like button actually puts the video into the YouTube algorithm and shares the video with other people. All right. So everybody take a second and hit the like button. And I thank you in advance. Let's go.
That's the least of dude's concern. We tend to forget that the RICO, the Uncle RICO charge, is the scariest thing that he's looking at. RICO, the Racketeer Influence Corrupt Organization Act. Now, to understand what he is looking at on RICO, we have talked about this before. First, you have to understand the federal sentencing guideline chart. Put it up. Boom. This chart. So as you're looking at this chart, you can see.
All right. So this is very important. Let me put this on the big screen. This is the federal sentencing guidelines chart. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can make this any bigger. All right. So let's keep going. This is important right here.
There's a bunch of numbers. On the left side of the chart is if you have no criminal record. Let's assume Sean Combs has no criminal record at this point in time. He's on the left side of the chart. You start out with RICO.
Does Diddy have a criminal record? I remember Diddy going to jail for... All right, so it's two things that were public. I'm not sure whether he went to jail. He he orchestrated some type of party back in college, and at some point a whole bunch of people passed away because he over did something and a whole bunch of people got killed. I don't think he went to jail or anything that time, but then another time he allegedly hit somebody in the head with a kettlebell because of a coach. He got into it with a coach. I don't know if he went to jail for that either. So I'm not exactly sure. And the Shine incident, exactly, Miss Lady, the Shine incident, he did not go to jail for that because Shine took the rap. So yeah, I don't think he has a criminal record. I already bought 2 decks today for the hell of it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I ain't even said nothing about the card game. Y'all buying card games. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Layla, thank you so much. Layla just dropped the link to the card game right here. So hit the link, hit the link, hit the link. I appreciate y'all. Y'all just, the show just started. Y'all buying card games. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
As you look at RICO, RICO starts with a level 19, a base offense level of 19. So that's where he starts at RICO. You're like, that's not that bad. You look at 19. And these are in terms of months of how much time somebody's looking at. However, to prove RICO, you must prove what are called 2 predicate offenses, at least 2 predicate offenses. The federal government has said that Diddy has been involved in bribery, witness intimidation, sexual assault, arson, kidnapping. So let's just take the arson and kidnapping and say that they'll be able to prove those, and I think those are going to be the easiest 2 to prove. And let's start with the kidnapping. We've talked about that before. The base offense level of kidnapping is level 32. If you read the RICO statute, here it is up here, it says you take which one will give you the higher penalty. So we start.
You take which one that will give you the higher penalty is crazy.
Start at the kidnapping level 32. You're like, okay, that's not that bad. It's much higher than 19. Well, you don't stop there. If somebody is sexually assaulted in the kidnapping, you go up 6 levels. If a weapon has been used, you go up 2 levels.
So do you see how Diddy is cooked? See, I love how the Kent law firm, this guy right here, is breaking this down. It's being broken down in a way that nobody's ever broken down before in the past. So we all know somebody can get locked up for RICO and all these different things, but what we don't never see or know is how some of these people get off, how some of these people turn around and end up getting time served, like to a certain degree. What is his name? Young Thug. He didn't get time served, but he actually got sent home and he's on probation. And it's just like, he agreed. He pled guilty to being the mastermind to this RICO situation, but he still went home, right? And this guy is literally breaking this down to a point where we can actually understand what's happening. So let me back this up just a little bit. All right, here we go.
Here it says you take which one will.
Yeah, Young Thug got 15 years probation, and he was the mastermind of all this. So
give you the higher penalty. So we start at the kidnapping level 32.
Level 32.
Like, okay, that's not that bad. It's much higher than 19. Well, you don't stop there. If somebody is sexually assaulted in the kidnapping, you go up 6 levels. If a weapon has been used, you go up 2 levels.
All right, so let's read this real quick because this is important. This is important so we can get an understanding of this. Okay, levels B. If the victim sustained seriously, hold on. Let me back it up. I want to see the other one too because this is important. All right, here we go. All right, so kidnapping, abduction, unlawful restraint, base offense level 32, specific offense characteristics. If a ransom demand, that's interesting. If a ransom demand or a demand upon government was made, increases by 6 levels. If the victim sustained permanent or life-threatening bodily injury, increased by 4 levels. This is so interesting. If the victim sustained seriously bodily injury, increased by 2 levels. Or C, if the degree of injury is between that specified in subdivisions A and B, increase by 3 levels. This is crazy. I've never seen any of this broken down like this. This is super dope. And everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. If you just came in, shout out to you. Thank you for watching. Make sure to hit the like button. All right, here's the next
statute. Here it is up here. It says you take which one will give you the higher penalty. So we start at the kidnapping level 32. You're like, okay, that's not that bad. It's much higher than 19. Well, you don't stop there. If somebody is sexually assaulted in the kidnapping, you go up 6 levels. If a weapon...
All right, here we go. Let's read this. Okay. If the victim was sexually exploited, keyword exploited and not assaulted, sexually exploited by increased by 6 levels. If the victim is a minor and in exchange for money or other consideration was placed in the care or custody of another person, damn, this is a long one, who had no legal right in such care or custody of the victim, increased by 3 levels. 7, if the victim was kidnapped, abducted, or unlawfully restrained during the commission of or in connection with another offense or escaped therefrom, or if another offense was committed during the kidnapping, abduction, or the unlawful restraint of. Increase to...
It's been used. You go up 2 levels. If somebody is hurt or injured, you go up 2 levels.
All right, hold on. Drop this in here. Let's see. All right. Level B. If the victim sustained seriously bodily injury, increased by 2 levels. Or C, if the degree of injury is between that specified in subdivisions A and B, increased by 3 levels. If a dangerous weapon was used, which it was in the Diddy scenario, if a dangerous weapon was used, increased by 2 levels. This nigga is probably at level 40. If the victim was not released, this is interesting. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. If you hit the like button already, say yes in the chat. Say yes in the chat if you've hit the like button already. What's up, Kara? So if the victim was not released before 30 days has lapsed, increased by 2 levels. That is, I'm not gonna say that's hilarious. That's crazy. If the victim was not released before 7 days has elapsed, increased by 1 level. This shit is almost like ice cream. Like, you know how many scoops you want to add on your damn ice cream cone. Shit. If the victim was sexually exploited, increased by 6 levels. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. And if you have already hit the like button, say yes in the chat.
If you start reading this and understand these levels and you go and track the federal indictment, you start and look at the enterprise letter that they sent. Don't forget that one that they're talking about, that Cassie was trying to get away from Diddy, and in trying to get away from Diddy, she ran out to California. When she ran out to California, a gun was used. Somebody was kidnapping. What is kidnapping? Kidnapping is like simply having a Matt Lauer button. Somebody comes in my room and tries to leave. Oh, I can't get out. I can't get out. That's not for kidnapping. Holding somebody against the wall. Just don't you leave me. Anything you touch, Harpo, you don't let somebody leave, that's kidnapping. And then arson is burning somebody's shit you don't have a right to do. So they'll be able, I think, to prove those ones.
And of course, arson is when he bombed or caused Kid Cudi's car to explode.
Very easily. And if you look at all the facts, they track those kidnapping. And so we talked about the levels. 32. You go down 6 levels, somebody sexually assaulted. 6, 7, 8, 38. A weapon is used. God, they seem to say a weapon is used. 39, 40. Somebody is hurt or injured. 41, 42. And then there's something called the role enhancement. If you are the leader, if you are the Tony Soprano of this RICO organization, I can throw that over those mountains over there. If you are the leader of that organization, you get in a...
So right here is the reason why I don't understand how and why Young Thug was sent home, because he admitted to the role enhancement part. So the reason why we're here is because this specific stipulation of role enhancement. What's up, Moeezy? What's up, Renee? Role enhancement, meaning if you're the leader, it means you're done. So why is Young Thug at home then, if that's the case? He was the leader and he pled guilty to being the leader
of this RICO organization. I can throw that over those mountains over there. If you are the leader of that organization, you get an additional 4th level role enhancement. The chart only goes down so far.
Damn.
And so again, shout out to Khadijah. She made it clear to notice that everybody's talking about the sexual assault, which is a problem. Do not get me wrong. And he has a potential defense that
solution that will help every woman watching, regardless of age, regardless of background. See, in my 7 years of coaching women, the number one thing that I hear in my coaching sessions is her issue or tumultuous relationship with her mother. So what I've done is come out with a card game that will actually help mothers and daughters come back together. We have to get to the source of a woman's pain, her inadequacies, her insecurities, and heal that little girl inside of her before she goes out in the world as a woman. I call Like Mother, Like Daughter therapy in a box. Therapy in a box is 50 questions for the daughter to ask the mother, questions that you always wanted to ask. And it's also 50 questions for the mother to ask the daughter. But when you're able to ask the questions that you always wanted to ask to your mother without her getting upset, without her pulling rank on you, the lines of communication are now open. When women are finally able to forgive their mother, relationships outside of the household would then blossom. Because for most women, there's a hurt little girl inside of her that never had an opportunity to be seen or heard. But all that stops when you buy my new Like Mother, Like Daughter card game. Order it now. The link is under this video. Click the link and let's start healing.
All right, for those of you who have not bought my mother-daughter card game, Mother's Day is less than 30 days away. So what are you waiting for? And something and some of y'all have said it yourselves, and let me know if y'all have said this in the chat before, but I have gotten a lot of people that said they bought the card game, but now they're confused or worried about their mother's reaction by, or their mother's rejecting them by saying, "Hey, mom, can we play this mother-daughter card game? It will bring us closer." And then they actually have, let me know that there's a certain amount of fear where they're like, yo, I don't want to get rejected again by my mother. So I'm not sure on how to, present this card game to my mom because my mom's kind of mean, or my mom is kind of judgmental, or my mom doesn't want to talk about the past. Well, this is the thing that I did for a lot of you. And as you can see, I did this before y'all even had this concern. There are 2 card games. There's a daughter card game and there's a mother card game. So if you're a woman that wants to have this conversation with your mother, all you got to do is be like, yo, mom, this is a mother-daughter card game. Here's the mother deck and I have the daughter deck. Just check out the questions and let me know what you think. And if you want to know what questions are in my deck, just ask me and then we'll play the game. But if you don't want to play the game, it's okay. Check this deck out right here and check out the questions. And then boom, there's no stress, there's no argument, there's no rejection, because a woman, just like anybody else, at any age, she's going to be nosy and she's going to read the questions. And then at some point, she's going to ask you about your questions. And then boom, y'all are playing the game without you worrying about her rejecting you, talking down on you, or making you feel small for introducing the card game to her in the first place. So for anybody who is apprehensive of playing this card game with their mother, no matter who or what type of mother you have, I thought ahead for you. So buy the card game regardless of what you feel, and I promise you it will work out. Just give her the mother deck, and then leave with the daughter deck. I promise you she'll start asking you to play the card game with her instead of you asking her. So Mother's Day is coming up. The card game is on sale right now. Hit the link in the chat and buy your mother-daughter card game, or buy, really, seriously, or buy both of them and get my Deeper Discussions card game also. All right, so let's go back to this. My perfect commercial just got ruined. God damn it. Damn microphone. All right, let's go.
Even if he beats that and they can prove the arson and they can prove the kidnapping, they only know those two. And let's say they prove the arson and they prove the bribery, or the arson and the witness intimidation. You still go higher. On the arson, the base offense level is 20. That's where it starts. And then it
So base level at 20. Damn, we at 20.
goes up 2 levels if something else has happened.
22.
You start with the sexual assault charges. The base offense level is 34. So you're seeing what he's looking at in all these things. And if you're looking at these terms in terms of months, how much time could Diddy face in jail if he is convicted? All of it.
So it starts at 20, and every piece of these charges slowly go up. So it goes up slowly, right? Incrementally. And next thing you know, he's finding himself at 32, 34. And then as it keeps going up, he ends up at 43. So according to him, and shout out to him, because this is great information. For anybody who was apprehensive and thinking that Diddy was going to do life in prison, he's going to do life in prison. That is a fact. And what he just said proves it. And even if he just gets to 40, that's 292 to 365 weeks or months. I think these are, hold on, let's see. I think months. 365 months in jail. Moeezy says, chat, I encourage you all to purchase the mother-daughter card game. Thank you so much for saying that, Moeezy.
It's kind of hard out here for a pimp.
So it is very possible that Diddy could be spending life in prison if he is found guilty of that racketeering conspiracy charge. And he still has 4 other charges that will be tried. Not only is Diddy being charged with blowing up Kid Cudi's car, he is also being charged with kidnapping someone and trying to break in Kid Cudi's house. A lot of people forget how huge this is, but Diddy is being charged for blowing up Kid Cudi's car and kidnapping a woman to try to break in his house under his racketeering conspiracy charge. And I think that this part of the trial is going to be one of the most crazy parts. The feds are alleging in the early morning hours of December 22nd of 2011, Diddy and a co-conspirator kidnapped an individual with a weapon to facilitate breaking into and entering the residence of a person known as Individual 1, which is going to be Kid Cudi. Multiple witnesses will testify at trial to the events surrounding the kidnapping and the break-in, which
right there, that means Kid Cudi is taking the stand. See, nobody is talking about who is taking the stand against Diddy. That is not Cassie. See, when we think about a witness or somebody taking a stand, we're always thinking about these SA victims. Well, it's a lot of dudes like Kid Cudi and possibly Terrence Howard. I don't know. I think Terrence Howard, if they ask him, they subpoena him, I think he'll take the stand either. Also, there's a lot of men that most likely are going to take the stand too against Diddy. It's going to be a lot of people taking a stand that are men.
Is corroborated by police reports and other records. Approximately 2 weeks later, Diddy's co-conspirators set fire to individual one's vehicle by slicing open the car's convertible top and dropping a Molotov cocktail inside the interior. Police and fire department records extensively document the arson and conclude that the fire was intentionally set. Multiple witnesses will testify to the defendant bragging about his role in destroying Kid Cudi's car. So not only is Diddy being charged with blowing up Kid Cudi's car, he is also being charged with kidnapping a woman that we just learned in this new superseding indictment to try to get her to facilitate a break-in into Kid Cudi's house. As you
Miss Lady said, what is Terrence Howard going to stay? He said he stared at me. I think just for the Terrence Howard thought is, I think Terrence Howard would make a great character or anti character witness against Diddy for anybody that thinks these other people are after his money, or doing this in order to get some type of financial gain. When you bring in somebody that is bigger than Diddy, more accomplished by Diddy than Diddy, and he even had some, I would say, inappropriate interactions with Diddy, now that can show the jury that no, it's not just these women or these dudes trying to get a payday. Terrence Howard ain't trying to get a payday, and he tried Terrence Howard. So it's a possibility that bringing somebody on the stand that is bigger and more accomplished than Diddy can actually help the case, if that makes any sense to y'all. And I'm not saying he got subpoenaed, but I'm just saying if he does get subpoenaed, it would make a lot of sense for him to take the stand, and it would actually help the case against Diddy. Terrence Howard is just a character witness of the allegations. Yes.
You can see in the Enterprise letter that was just dropped with the new superseding indictment, it says, in addition, the language of count 1 contains 2 changes clarifying that the defendant kidnapped and carried and displayed a firearm to a female victim. And I assume that this victim could be Cassie Ventura, because Cassie said in her lawsuit in 2011, during a rough patch with Diddy, she got into a relationship with Kid Cudi. She said that Diddy returned home from a trip and demanded another freak off from Cassie. And
where are my likes at? Where are my likes? Are we hitting the like button, y'all? Let's just do another check-in. If you have already hit the like button, say yes in the chat. If you have already hit the like button, say yes in the chat.
During this freak off, Diddy found Cassie's phone and found emails between her and Kid Cudi. And this is why he became enraged and
why was he emailing her? Maybe because he was out of country. I don't know. Emails is a little strange.
Proceeded to place a manual corkscrew between his fingers and lunge at her. Cassie said that she ran away to stay at Kid Cudi's home to escape Diddy's wrath, and then soon after, Diddy's staff member told Cassie that she just needed to talk to Diddy even though he was enraged. She said,
Layla says Terrence Howard brings validity to the other witnesses' statements, facts. Because like I said, some people may say, oh, it's a witch hunt. These people are nobodies. They're trying to get attention. They're trying to get money. They're trying to get this. They're trying to get that. But when somebody that don't need all that attention, that doesn't even like the attention, comes in and says, he tried me too, that adds validity to everybody else's testimony. So y'all thought I was crazy when I said there's a possibility that Terrence Howard takes the stand.
Said this was one of the many times that she felt like she couldn't get away from Diddy no matter how hard she tried. She ended up going back to Diddy, and when she did, she alleged that Diddy hit her several times and then kicked her in the back, and she tried to run out the door. She said after this, she went to her parents' home in Connecticut where her mother took pictures of the bruises that Diddy had allegedly left on her body. And after that is when Cassie alleged that Diddy had Kid Cudi's car blown up. And after Cassie's lawsuit dropped, Kid Cudi came out and said that everything that Cassie said about his car being blown up was true. So I think it's very possible that we could see Kid Cudi testify against Diddy in his
1,000%. 1,000%. Yes, UG, this is getting realer and realer and realer. All right, we need about 50 more likes. Thank y'all so much for hitting the like button. We need 50 more people to hit the like button. We need 50 more likes. So you are the person that I'm talking to. You have not hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Let's get these likes up. Let's get these likes up. If you're enjoying the content, hit the like button.
criminal trial. To know it's not only an arson and it's also connected to a kidnapping, trying to break into his house is crazy because those are some serious charges. That's why I don't get when a lot of people are like, well, she stayed with Diddy for 10 years. Do you know how many times she wrote in that lawsuit that she tried to leave and then something insane like this would happen? They would track her down. They blew up a car.
And I want to say this. In my last live stream, I said Cassie was somewhat of a co-conspirator to all of this because she stayed with Diddy for 13 years. I'm not necessarily going to stand on what I said because thinking about what Khadijah Lynn is saying, and shout out to her, follow her on TikTok and on YouTube. And it's not what she's saying. She's just, just repeating what Cassie said. And I actually forgot about that point. When you try to leave somebody, because it reminded me of something. There was a story of Cassie leaving Diddy, and she was still in the music industry, and she left Diddy, but everywhere she went, every single where she went, trying to do business, the person would call Diddy and say, hey, your girl is over here. And then she would try to get work from this person or try to work with that person. And each one of the people would just be like, yo, why don't you just go back to Diddy? And so I want to retract what I said earlier, just after thinking about it. And I didn't mean it being insensitive, but, well, it's not a but. I didn't mean to be insensitive. But can you imagine leaving a man or leaving a woman, and they're so big in the industry you're in, and that's the only industry you know, because she was introduced to Diddy in the industry because she was with the other guy. I forgot his name. What was the guy she was with at first? But so she was already a singer. So this is the industry you're in. And literally everywhere you go, whether it's acting, whether it's music, or whether it's anything else, every single person that you sit down and talk to, trying to get a deal with or some help with, they tell you, why don't you just go back to Diddy? And you're just like, why is it everywhere I go, some random ass person is telling me to go back to Diddy? And that can put you in a position where you just like, fuck it, I might as well go back. I can't make no money. I can't do this. Kid Cudi's car blew up. And I don't know what happened with her present husband and why it worked out with them, but I literally think she went to, because the guy that she's with now, her present husband, he was her personal trainer. And I think she literally was just like, I just need somebody to get me away from this guy. And he just said, I got you. And she was probably like, really? He's going to try to blow your car up? I don't care. Let's just do it. And I think he was just crazy enough to just take her off his hands, for lack of better words. And maybe Diddy was just tired of chasing her or whatever. But that is a lot. I can't imagine that. And there's a woman that I actually tried to holler at. We just became friends, and she didn't friend zone me. She just had too much going on in her life. And she had told me, because I was like, yo, what's up? You're not trying to, do nothing? And she just admitted to me that her ex-husband is chasing her, and she didn't want to add, another person to this problematic lifestyle that she had. But altogether, she couldn't date me because the guy that she left was kind of like Diddy with just less power, and he kept finding out where she was. So imagine me going over a chick's house, and then her ex-husband finds her, and now he wants to fight me, and I ain't got nothing to do with it. Now I got to shoot my way up out of there. So I just want to apologize to anybody that I offended by saying that because she was with him for 13 years, she had some side of liking what was going on. After thinking about it, I was wrong for saying that. And I don't take it back by saying I didn't mean it. I meant it, but after understanding more information, because if you with somebody for 13 years, the assumed thought is, well, why the hell was you with him for that long? But Diddy in particular is different because he was blowing up people's cars. He was like the king of New York. So everywhere she went, people did not want to work with her. So this is an outlier type of scenario. But if you're in a relationship with a man and you don't want to be there because of some type of abuse, no matter how hard it is, you got to leave the person before you lose your life. Mr. Let Go, I have so much respect for you for admitting you are wrong. Yeah, I have no problem with admitting that I'm wrong. I've admitted that I'm wrong before, but yeah, I'm never the know-it-all type of person. If I was so much of a know-it-all person, I would be doing the video and not Khadijah. Khadijah. Khadijah knows more than me about this stuff, so I'm playing Khadijah's video. So I'm never the person who's going to say I know it all. I would be too braggadocious, or I would have too much pride to play Khadijah instead of me saying it. Like, no, a lot of these people know more about these things or know about different things than I do.
Kidnap somebody by pow point. I mean, look at her face, guys. Like,
what's up, Lorenzo? I ain't seen you in a minute.
There's
share the video on Facebook, Lorenzo.
So many pictures that you can pull up of Cassie Ventura looking like this. And one of the most disturbing ones that will always stay on my mind is when Cassie uploaded this picture of herself on her Instagram while she was in Dubai with Diddy. Back then, Cassie did delete this picture very quick, but before she deleted it, she alleged that she got all of this from a ATV crash. The injury to her head literally scarred her face. Like,
that was a beautiful ass girl. And to know that, sadly, some of the most beautiful women that look like Cassie be the main one getting their ass beat. That shit is sad. That shit is really sad. So y'all know that Cassie ran out of the hotel with the money bag because she was down with having blank right in front of her. She's so guilty more. Okay. That's what somebody else said. Connie said that. I don't agree with that.
There is no way that she did that to her lip and this big gash on her head from falling off of an ATV.
What you got to say now? What you got to say now? You ain't got shit to say. When you put your girl on the snap.
On top of everything, we can't forget what we all watched in real time. I think a lot of people forget exactly how big Diddy's case actually is. I think a lot of the times they only think about the SA portion, but it is so much more than that. All of the charges that fall under the racketeering charge itself, like the kidnapping, like the arson, and so much more, just that alone is insane. And I think that once this trial does get started, everybody's going to start to remember again exactly how crazy Diddy's whole case and everything that he's allegedly done actually is. But y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
The newest Diddy legal filings are somewhat more confusing than when they switched Aunt Viv's. They're interesting. And when I say interesting, what is going back and forth, the same thing we've already been talking about for many times is.
And his name is Kent Law Firm on TikTok. Kent Law Firm on TikTok. Follow him.
Motion in limines and what the government is trying to do. So here's the long and short of it. The government is specifically making an attempt to get in prior bad act evidence in trial against Diddy. They're trying their damnedest to do it.
So prior bad act means whatever he did way before all of this goes into consideration. And prior bad act simply says he is a repeat offender. He just didn't get caught the first time. And because of that, we can't show no leniency on this man because he has prior bad acts.
Defense has filed a motion like yesterday or the day before, and it's a really good motion. And in their motion, they're flat out saying, look, we understand Rule 413. We understand that you're trying to get in all of these other individuals, but Rule 413 allows you to bring in prior sexual acts against someone who's accused of sexual assault. Here's the thing. We're not accused of sexual assault. We're accused
trafficking
of commercial sex acts.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense because none of his charges have anything to do with SA. His charges, the lawsuits, the civil lawsuits are about SA. The actual criminal stuff is about trafficking. That makes sense.
Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear, tell you a little something. And that's their argument. They're just like, look, this isn't a sexual assault trial. This is a RICO trial. This is a commercial sex trafficking trial. So bringing in this sexual assault stuff just is not fair under
What's going on, Justin T, please?
Rule 413, and you shouldn't be allowed to do it. And you guys are trying to go back to life. You guys are trying to go back
to jail.
Some 20 years and bringing up stuff against me. However do you want it? You're trying to go back so far, it's going to be prejudicial. However do you need it? It's going to hurt my case so bad. However do you want it? No jury is going to be able to pay attention. Judges have to do in these situations a prejudicial versus probative balancing test. Probative. Is it something that the jury needs to know or could know? Could it help them render a decision? Well, if Diddy pulled a girl's hair in middle school in the 5th grade, well, that's probative. But is it so probative not to be prejudicial at all? And the judge could say, yeah, that could be somewhat probative. I could see you be interested showing that he's been a piece of shit for a long time.
I am 5 days into the online course, and I have had so many epiphany moments throughout this week. Throughout my whole life, I have just kept it moving. And you have, through your course, really shown me that in order to move forward, you got to look back, and identifying those childhood traumas and how they have now created these adult behaviors in toxic relationships. In my responses has really been eye-opening. The course is laid out perfectly when it comes to helping and taking those steps and doing those activities to really dive deep and getting your male perspective. But it's great that you prepare us in our mindset. So I appreciate you. And I appreciate this program, and I'm so excited to jump into week 2. So thank you, Coach. See you next session.
Everybody that has already bought my card game, I appreciate you. And I have this course, which is only $14.99. I'll say it again, it's $14.99. And the woman on your screen right now, she is married. So because of her, me coaching her, well, partly because of me coaching her, and partly because of her immersing herself into the principles and all the different things that I teach women, especially this Fix My Attachment Style course, she has gotten herself married. So shout out to her. Everybody watching, you bought my card game. Thank you. Get this course. It's only $14.99. Click the link that is in the chat or go up under the video and you'll see this picture, the black and white picture is only $14.99. I promise you, this course will change your whole life. It's a $1,000 course because it's like a 3-day course. It's like, it's a 5-day course. I'm sorry, but I'm selling it for $14.99 specifically because I have an understanding of taking this course would make you more comfortable in healing in different ways. And what I've learned just my work is, in order to heal one way, you have to heal in another way, which means there's a sequential order in healing. You can't just heal. You have to do this and then you have to do that. So once I learned that there's a sequential order in healing, I came out with this course and I only made it $14.99. So click the link in the video, in the chat or under this video. Is only $14.99. Click this link so you can learn more about your attachment style, because healing is or must be done in a sequential order. So this goes first and then you move on to the next thing.
But the prejudice is too high. So in this case, these filings that everybody's going back and forth, the government responded. It's like, look, we want to bring in sexual assault stuff against them. We want to bring in other victims against them. But what is fascinating is if you read the rationale why. Now, again, understand, usually in our court system, we don't allow you to bring in stuff that you're not charged with, stuff that you're not charged in to prove your case. It's called prior bad act.
Bridget said, what's his name? His name is Kent Law Firm. Kent, K-E-N-T Law Firm on TikTok.
Evidence. And, I've known a lot of judges who say if a prosecutor has to rely on stuff that has nothing to do with this case, then they don't have a case to begin with. If you read the prosecutor's recent filing, here the defendants, and they blotted out, are probative for a significant reason. Each testifying non-statutory victim.
Hold on. This is important. Bridget says, I want to buy the course, but I'm kind of scared of the results because I know I messed up. I'm confused. If you think you messed up in some type of way or you're not healed in some type of way, you don't want to buy the course. And I'm just going to tell you this. It's a very thorough, helpful course. And the reason why I separated the course in 5 different days is 6. It's actually 6. So the first day, and you can take it day by day. You don't have to just take the course and just do it all at one time. I separated in 6 days because there's a 6th day that is an extra bonus. And the 6th day is called the 6 dimensions of my life. So I actually have you go through a specific framework where you separate your life into 6 parts so you can get an understanding of all 6 parts of your being, all 6 parts or 6 dimensions of your life. It's only $14.99, Bridget. Going to buy it. I promise you, it's not scary. And like I said, because I separated each part, it's not overwhelming. Some people think a course is overwhelming. Like, I'm not going to learn all this stuff. That's why I separated the way I did. So the first way, and then on top of that, there's a video of me explaining my 17 principles of letting go, and the ladies are actually there asking questions about each principle, so you can get an understanding of how they're taking it in. So it's not just you learning it, you're learning it by other people learning it. I promise you, hit the link. Is only $14.99. You will absolutely love it. It's just going to go straight to your email. It's like super quick. And you can go in and come back out whenever you want to. How do I get the cards? I click the link. Nothing happened. All right. So let's see. Let's do this. Hold on. Somebody said they clicked the link and nothing happened. I'm going to buy it and give you an update. Yes, please give me an update. All right, so we're gonna get back to the video, but somebody's asking questions in the chat. All right, so just in case some link you clicked didn't work, because all my links work, but I just want to give you another link just in case your phone cookies may be off. Because sometimes if your cookies are attached to something, it might affect the link. So the person Mary Veneer, I just dropped a different link in the chat because you said that link didn't work, because I'm clicking the links on my phone to make sure each link works. So my emotional attachment course link works, my mother-daughter card game link works, and the overall link where you can get all of the things they okay. Now I see what you're talking about. Let me remove that. So yes, I see what I see what you're saying, which link, the link that didn't work. Okay. And thank you so much for telling me that. I know what I did. When I paste the links together, it makes the links not work. So yeah, I got to keep in mind. So every link that I just dropped in the chat and that I pinned at the top of the chat, they all work. So thank you so much for letting me know about the links. But yeah, I'm just here to help y'all. I'm just trying to give y'all information that will help y'all. But I can only lead you to the water. It's up to you to actually drink the water. That's all I can do. Hit the link, buy the card game, hit the link, buy the course. The course is only $14.99. You can't lose. It's going to go straight to your email and you can watch it whenever you want to. And it's so informative. It's worth like $1,000. I used to sell it for $1,000.
Makes more plausible, listen to this, the testimony of victim 3. But what is fascinating is if you read the rationale why. Now, again, understand, usually in our court system, we don't allow you to bring in stuff that you're not charged with, stuff that you're not charged in to prove your case. It's called prior bad act evidence. And, you know, I've known a lot of judges who say if a prosecutor has to rely on stuff that has nothing to do with this case, then they don't have a case to begin with. If you read the prosecutor's recent filing.
And Melody says, if mom is a narcissist, I don't think it will come out good. I promise you it will. My card game is specifically for, I'm not going to say specifically, but it's characterized for the narcissistic mother. It's for narcissistic mothers, Melody. Just keep that in mind. So you play the card game with your mom, no matter how narcissistic she is, no matter how evil she is, the card game is meant to talk to her inner child. I'll say that again. My mother-daughter card game is meant to talk to your mother's inner child. And we all have inner children. So no matter how mean, no matter how narcissistic, no matter how crazy your mother is, now if she's a paranoid schizophrenic and there's some clinical issues, that may be one thing. All right. But if she's not clinically insane, this mother-daughter card game would touch her, because the questions in this card game, they're so intimate and intuitive. and it's not going to push your mother on her heels where she's going to feel judged. It's not a card game like, why did you hurt me? No, it's a very loving, intuitive card game. I promise you. Because the thing about it is, one thing I'm not going to do is put you ladies in a position where I can get sued because your mother acts a fool and your relationship gets worse instead of better. It took me 3 years to put together this card game. So I did everything that I could to not control the narrative, but protect you from your mother's meanness. This is a good product. I had therapists look at it. I promise you, hit the link. I promise you, you're going to be okay. And like I said, there's 2 different decks in here. Just hand the deck to her, the mother deck, and just walk away. She'll look for you to play the card game with you.
Here, the defendants, and they blotted out, are probative for a significant reason. Each testifying non-statutory victim makes more plausible, listen to this, the testimony of victim 3 and victim 4. Indeed, this is why Congress passed Rule 413, because sexual assault cases often rest on the credibility of the victims, and knowledge that the defendant has committed sexual assaults on other occasions is frequently critical in assessing the relative plausibility of these claims. As in many sexual assault cases, the defendant was alone with victim 3 and victim 4 when he assaulted them. Victim testimony is at the heart of this trial, and for that reason, the government expects that the defendant will attack the credibility of the testifying victims to claims of fabrications, motive to lie, mistake, and faulty memory. Evidence of other sexual assaults by the defendant answers those attacks, lending credibility to victims behind the similar accounts. The fuck? Think about it. They are literally saying the exact thing that we says the law should stop. The government is flat out put it in writing. Hey man, we're going to put somebody who says something happens and they're going to be attacked and their credibility may be called in question. So to show that they're credible, we're going to talk about stuff that he did a long time ago.
That's crazy.
Oh, I probably should have done that.
Yeah. Yo, this dude is hilarious. Everybody hit the like button, y'all. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Click it again. Mother-daughter card game. And wait, what? Wait, Mary, what in the world is going on? It has to be your cookies. That's why I gave you another link. So Mary, there are different links that I dropped. All right. Each link has different sets of cookies. So Mary, click the link that I just dropped in the chat right now. I just dropped the link in the chat right now. Click that link and tell me what happens. And then I'll give you another link because if you keep clicking a link, it could block you because it's your cookies. Because then Layla dropped this link. This is the same link, but it's a different link. But it all brings you to the same place. Mary, I'm trying to make sure you're good because links can mess you up. So Mary, click the link. Let me know what happens. All right, let's keep going. I want to make sure Mary is good. I'm not worried about getting it right with my mother. I worry about what my children feel about me. Wait. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me drop the link. I'm gonna drop the StreamYard link, y'all. We're talking about Diddy, but if anybody wants to come up and ask questions about the mother-daughter card game, or and you don't have to put yourself on screen if you don't want to, but because I'm here to help. We're talking about Diddy, but of course I'm here to help. So I'm here to help Bridget, and I want to help Mary. So if anybody wants to just click the link to come up on the show and ask questions about the card game, I'll definitely have you up, whether you're on screen or not on screen, whatever you want to do. But because Bridget said, I'm not worried about getting it right with my mother. I worry about what my children feel about me. You can play the card game with your children. You can play the card game with your children. My daughters played the card game with their mother. It's right here. Where is it? My own kids play the card game, and it's really fun. Playing the card game in real time. Hey, you there?
Yes, I'm here. We're here.
Okay. So what are y'all's experience of playing the like mother, like daughter card game in real time?
Oh, it's good. It's a lot of fun. It open up the conversation because it go beyond just the questions that are being asked. So it allows us to definitely feel liberty, like freedom to talk about things that we didn't probably haven't even talked about. So it's good. It's really, really good.
See? And this is my daughter.
That if we had our option, something that we dreamed that we would want to do together. So, and it come to find out, we both had the same dream. That was something that we wanted to do together. So it was that was really, really good.
Hold on. I got some advice.
Oh, hey. This is my daughter.
We need a round 2 of the card game.
Wait, y'all play all 60 of the cards?
No, we need a round, not a round 2, but like a different version.
Okay. So she says a different version because her and her mom are so good where some of the questions just like, okay, this don't apply to me because, you know, it's meant for the tough questions. And I wanted to facilitate a safe space between a woman and her mother's problematic issues.
Because a lot of cards we had to skip because we this toxic.
You know, we have always been open with our girls. We have always allowed them the freedom of speech and to be able to have a voice, basically. Yeah. So some of these cards were geared towards, I guess, ones who haven't, to open up more conversations. For people who haven't had the opportunity to have a voice or anything.
Yeah.
But then there's some people out there who have open parents and their open parents did it wrong. So that's what I'm saying. It could be another version for parents who may have been, mothers who have been too open.
So yeah, we're going to get back to the Diddy video or whatever. But yeah, I'm just here to help y'all. I'm just here to help. We are not this toxic. But yeah, because to be honest with you, some mother-daughter relationships are toxic. And in order to facilitate healing, we got to find a way for the daughter to be able to talk to their toxic moms. So yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. And it's scary for a lot of women to talk to their mothers.
Those attacks, lending credibility to victims behind the similar accounts. The fuck? Think about it.
Okay, listen to this.
They are literally saying the exact thing that we says the law should stop. The government is flat out put it in writing. Hey man, we're going to put somebody who says something happens and they're going to be attacked and their credibility may be called in question.
Okay, hold on real quick. Mary, can you send me a DM, Mary, on Instagram? Mary, are you following me on Instagram? Because I want to help you. Mary said, I clicked it again and it said, you sure you want to leave this website? The links work, y'all. The links work. So it has to be your browser, because sometimes your browser can be an issue. But I can help you in the DM. So here's my DM right here. Here's my Instagram. My Instagram is right here. So DM me, Mary. I am _Mr. Let Go. And I can help you there because I want to make sure you're good. Do you have a card game about sibling rivalry? No, not yet. Sandra, I do not have a card game about sibling rivalry yet. But this is this Deeper Discussions card game is a great card game to play with your sibling. My daughters played this card game with each other. So It's not a sibling rivalry card game, but this card game, minus a couple questions, can really help you and your sibling. I promise you. So get this card game right here if you have sibling rivalry. Because both card games talk about your childhood.
So to show that they're credible, we're going to talk about stuff that he did a long time ago. Oh, I probably.
That was hilarious. He was like,
this is some of the things that defense attorneys talk about, and this is when we're talking about that can Diddy get a fair trial with dealing with the federal government. This case is going to be replete with things like that. So those are the two filings. The defense has filed saying this shit should not be allowed in there because it's not fair, and the prosecutor has rebutted it and says, yeah, we know. Take that. And there's the shoot for today. Sorry I didn't show you yesterday. Ooh, look at him. He handsome. Take one weekend off and the Diddy verse explodes. First, Aldous Snow found himself accused of sexual assault. The reason this is important is if you find yourself accused of a crime, I always advise clients not to think it's a good idea to use words such as, I have never had sex with anybody that was not consensual. Whoever is advising Aldous, also known as Russell Brand, to give statements, tell him to shut the fuck up. The reason this is important, Aldous Snow was in a movie with Diddy in which Diddy played himself, Get Him to the Greek. It is now turning into the 6 degrees of separation of all the sexual assaults tied into the Diddyverse. Number 2, the federal government has announced that they're going forward with
of these decks, and I was asking her the questions while we were heading to this. What blessed me and my mother with one of these decks, and I was asking her the questions while we were heading to the airport, and she was asking questions. And I like that there is something in there that really helps you to identify, how do you feel? How do you express this? What word could I use? Or et cetera, et cetera. And I don't want to get too much into it because I really think that you guys should check this out. Even in the half hour that we were asking these questions, it created such deeper discussions. I actually remember there was one question, and it was something along the lines of, did my mom ever experience grief that would have allowed her not to be as attentive? And then we started talking about, and that led to like a really cool conversation. And so it was good. And I like it because we were giggling in the car, like talking about these different stories, stuff around Christmas time. Oh, do you remember this? And it just allowed us to be very nostalgic and really take that road down memory lane. So that was, this game is really cool. So I definitely appreciate it. Guys, we're going to connect the link below if you're interested in getting the mother-daughter card game. It's literally like therapy in a box. You get to ask all the questions that you may not have even known that you need to ask, or the conversation you didn't know you needed to have. So,
all right, so let's keep going.
Superseding indictment. What is a superseding indictment? We've talked to that before. S is for super, and the U is for unique. A superseding indictment just takes the place of the other 2 indictments.
And Layla says, these card games are phenomenal. They really give you good insight, allows you to even go further in questions with your kids too. Love them. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So this new superseding indictment announces 2 new charges. The 2 new charges are sex trafficking by threat or coercion. It tracks the language of USC code 1591 E2. What's interesting, I'll put that down there so you can look at it. Why is that important? Is it defines coercion. Coercion, the simple one is, I'll beat your ass if you don't do this shit. I'll choke your ass, Homer Simpson-esque. That's simple coercion. The other coercion is making somebody think that I'm going to choke your ass by saying certain things like, creating a pattern, a situation in which they think that they're going to get their asses whooped. That's the second part of that section. And that's what they're going after on victim 2. Third, Cassie has announced that she will be testifying under her name. Doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but it really is. For the longest time, victim 1 in this situation, we've always known it's been Cassie, but now the federal government has announced that she does not want to be named by a pseudonym. Why is this important? The Constitution allows us to confront our accusers. As a criminal defense attorney, I want an individual to get on the stand, put their hands on the Bible and say, this is my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. They call me Stacy. I want you on the stand saying your name, because in federal government, of course, this trial, the revolution, will not be televised. And so since it will not be televised, people can get on the stand without fear that somebody in Minot, North Dakota that they possibly know will be like, that ain't true. Her ass was with me that night. Why is she lying about that? And so as a defense attorney, we want you to say your name when you get on the stand. That could be a potential issue. The government has announced there are going to be 4 victims who are testifying against Diddy. It's very interesting when we talk about the 4 victims that are going to be testifying against Diddy, because if you look at the 3rd superseding indictment, the fact now that victim 2 is now actually charged. So let's go through why that is interesting. Because they always could get the information in. Remember we talked about Rule 413, put that down there, 413. Rule 413 basically says if you're accused of sexual assault, we can bring other sexual assaults against you. So the assumption is that the federal government was meeting with these 4 women.
Connie says, oh my gosh, yes, wow, I thought I was the only one with mama's inner child thought. I've been saying this to people about my mom. Yes, my card game actually talks to your mother's inner child. So no matter how mean, resentful, and crazy your mother is, like I said, as long as she's not mentally ill, this card game would get through to her. I promise you. It took me 3 years to put these questions together. I promise you, I did all of my due diligence. It's meant to bring out your mother's inner child in a good way. I promise you. I promise you, it will help.
And when they met with him, they're like, damn, probably sitting there with a little tissue. This is so sad. Probably sitting there emotional, listen to the story, and they're just like, you know what? We're going to put your ass on the stand, and we're going to specifically charge this conduct. So this is not going to be superfluous information to other charges. You're going to have your own charge. Probably is what ended up happening, because they probably went through this and said, this is strong information. Diddy's team already had this information through discovery, but they probably could ask for a continuance if they wanted to. My assumption is the federal government nor Diddy's team is probably ready, but neither one of them are going to blank first. So they're going to be going to trial no matter what. I find that very interesting that all of a sudden this one is now added as a charge, because they've known about this information the entire time. So probably in prep for the trial, they decided this shit's probably ready to go, and we can do a lot more information with her testimony as a victim and not just a witness. Whew. So that is a lot to unpack.
Mary says, how about I send you a Cash App for $60 for all 3? $60 would pay for the mother-daughter card game. So, Mary, you can send me a Cash App for $60, but you still have to DM me, and because I still got to get your address so I can ship it to you. So yes, you can send me a Cash App, but the $60 would be for the mother-daughter card game only, because the mother-daughter card game is $49 plus shipping. So you can send me a $60 Cash App. Yes, you can do that, Mary. But you still have to send me a DM right here, because you have not yet, because I've been looking. You got to send me a DM, because I still got to get your shipping information. So, however you want to do it, if the link isn't working for you, yes, I'll work with you. But I still got to get your shipping information, because how am I going to ship the card game to you? So send me a Cash App for $60 and I will ship you the card game. But you still have to actually do this. Mary, if you're watching, you're watching. When you send somebody a Cash App, there's a line that says for. Like, what is the Cash App for? Drop your whole address, your entire full address plus zip code in the for description line. So you listen, Mary, send me a Cash App for $60, Mary, right now. And in the tagline where it says for, put your full address, including zip code, and then we can do it. And then you don't have to do nothing else. Does that make sense, Mary? So I'm talking to Mary right here. You're having an issue with the tag. I mean, with the link. Send me a Cash App for $60 I'll send you the mother-daughter card game only because you said all three. It's more money for all three. But I'll send you the mother-daughter card game and put your address in the line where it says 4 in the Cash App. And then I'll have your address. I can just ship it to you.
This is the information, and this is why, as you're going through all this, why it makes it so much more difficult fighting the federal government than anyone else, because these charges, the things they can do, the power that they have, makes it, I don't want to say possible, makes it really, really hard. So, take that. Get his ass to the Greek.
But yeah, Diddy is over. Diddy is absolutely over for Diddy. Mary, absolutely. Okay, so Mary, go ahead and do what you got to do quickly. Click a link or drop the 60 to my Cash App. Get it done because I'm finna go. I'm about to get on these streets. So do it quickly. So everybody right now, if you have not bought your card game yet, click the link. The card game is on sale. Click the link. The card game is on sale. Click the link. And for Mary, since she has an issue with the link, make sure to send me the Cash App of 60 and put your address in the tagline, and I'll send you your card game. But everybody get your card games now because I'm about to go. I wanted to make this a quick show real quick.
How about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game? We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what?
Click the link, y'all. Click the link, click the link, click the link, click the link, and hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, and click the links to buy the card game.
What's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay, meet you at 6.
Fellas, buy this card game. Ladies, buy this card game. Buy about 2 or 3 card games. The main reason why people can't stay together isn't because they don't like each other no more. It's actually because their present family issues come up or their past family issues come up. But when you play Deeper Discussions, you'll be able to understand a person's family issues up front.
This game can be played with either 2 people or an entire group. So have fun.
Question number 1. Name a time when money was the main factor why a relationship went bad.
Okay, Mary. My Cash App is $AARON 1000. $AARON 1000. And when you type in the Cash App, you'll see Mr. Let Go show up because I don't want you to send your address to the wrong person or the money to the wrong person, and get it done.
Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend, a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. The texture of these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like
they ain't gonna get
really
wore out.
Durable.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card game.
Y'all are loving the card game. I'm loving it. Sandra says, here's a little sample of one of the questions in a Deeper Discussions card game. When a man and a woman are walking up a flight of steps, the man walks where? Yep, that's one of the questions. I love it. I love it. I love it. Man, I really appreciate like one, doing these lives with y'all and interacting with y'all in real time, and also providing tools and products for y'all where y'all are able to like enhance your lives with the products that I've created. And what I have in store next is going to be crazy. I'm not even going to say what it is, but I have another card game coming out. And on top of that, I have a whole new genre that I'm about to create. I'm going to create a new genre. So I'm not going to talk about it yet because I don't want to steal it. But I'm telling you now, it is going to be crazy. 2026, I'm just going to say it now, is going to change my entire life because it's going to take about 6 months to do everything. But I will talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Hit the like button and buy my card games. Mother's Day is around the corner, y'all. So I'll see y'all later. And if y'all need anything from me, you can easily send me a DM on IM_Mr. Let Go, and I'm here to help. And of course, I also do one-on-ones. So if y'all want to do a one-on-one with me, here we go. You can click this link. So this is you can book a one-on-one session with me if anybody would like to do that. So I got links and products for days, and more products are coming. So if you want to book a one-on-one with me, and make sure the link works. The link works. So you want to book a one-on-one with me, the last link I just dropped is in the chat. So talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. And drop something in the comments after the video starts. That will help the comments and the interaction start in the actual video. So after this live is over, drop a comment in the under the video, because comments and live chats are two different things. So drop some heart emojis, some popcorn emojis, drop some emojis under this video after the video is over, because the group, the chat is different than comments. So when the video is over, it's going to be 0 comments. Fill those comments up. Spam the comments after the video is over. Talk to y'all later. Thank you, Layla.